Okay, so if you haven't watched the previous video that I have in my channel, go ahead, watch that now, get some context, and then come back to this video, okay? Right, so it's been over a month that I got fired unexpectedly, and at the time I didn't really know what to do, but I think after that I've really been able to think about a lot of things. And so in this video I want to share some of the things that I'm doing, some of the thoughts that I had, my takeaways about this getting fired in a week, and ultimately I just wanted to share what it is that I'm planning to do, what it is that I'm doing, and hopefully get something positive out of it so that you can also learn something as well. Okay, so to keep it really simple, I've been really trying to find answers. I've been trying to find alignment with myself as well in terms of what it is that I want, what it is that I like, what it is that I can stand, that I accept, I don't accept, things like this. I think I had to really look back and say, well, maybe this is something that I was planning on just accepting because it was a really good opportunity. But now I think it really made me just kind of go back and reflect on that and say, you know what, I can work in a good company and still be it in a way that I enjoy it. I don't have to sacrifice or suffer in some ways just because I want to be able to get to that level of company, if that was the case. And so with that in mind, I've also been trying to explore, which is funny, and thinking about different sources of income. Now, I know that a lot of times I've had this problem where I want to be able to do 1,000 things and I don't focus on one. And so with that in mind, I was trying to analyze about it, but then I was thinking, how can I actually do what I am doing already and then make it better, right? Instead of just trying to figure it out 10,000 different ways of doing things, why don't I kind of go back and then think about something that was working for me before and then actually just do more of it, right? Instead of just trying to change it and then have no idea about the results. And so you can always either do more of it, do better, or you could do something different. At this point, I know that either way maybe could be good, but if I was doing something that was working for me, I think at this point the smartest thing to do is just do more of what was working for me in the past. And I actually did go through this experience where I was selling, I was actually working on a company and selling for them, and eventually I had some money and I thought, you know what, I'm going to transition again and I'm going to start doing these things for my business. So I used this money, transitioned, and then other things happened or nothing happened basically, which is why I eventually just spent the money. And then I thought, oh, I have to go back and then find another company where I can work, where I can actually get some money from, right? And so that was the reason initially that the whole situation really got me here, I think. And with that in mind, there's a couple of takeaways that I have really learned and that I thought will be really useful for me to share with you. Okay, so I wrote them here actually. And from the basic stuff, talking about actually working with them, one of the things that I learned was definitely about processes and organization, how to really be able to manage a large team, how to have communication, and that part being crucial, across different departments. So I thought that was really good. On top of it, I also thought about how not everything that sounds good on paper always turns up to be that good, right? Because essentially or hypothetically, what I was going to be doing was great, and the amount of money I was going to get paid was great, but then things don't turn out as you expect them to, right? And so one thing is, oh, it sounds good on paper, but then it's can I actually make it happen, right? So that was really a lesson for me. And in terms of that, I think I really have come to understand as well that sometimes I can wake up and feel powerful and think, you know what, I have hope and I can really do my thing. I know what I'm doing, I'm capable. And some days I literally just wake up and think, you know what, I feel so powerless. I have no clarity, I have no certainty, I have no idea where I'm heading. And I just came to understand that it's a normal part of the journey when it comes to being an entrepreneur or trying to do business, right? Sometimes you just wake up with that feeling. And so even from there, me being able to give so much value with the company and trying to think, I'm going to provide as much value as I can, and then hopefully they'll retain me, right? For me, that was the strategy. And I got to understand that the amount of money that you get paid is not in direct proportion to the value that you provide. And what makes the difference is I've given a lot of value to a lot of people in the past and I've never gotten paid for it, right? Which is the exact same thing that happened for me with this job. And so I was thinking, what really makes it something valuable in a way that I can actually get paid? And so, well, you can provide value, as much value as you can, but then if you don't know how to ask for the sale, or how to ask for the money, then you'll never get paid. So I think essentially it got me thinking, because I thought maybe it was something along those issues with business, and I'm trying to be nice, I'm trying to over deliver, trying to help people, and think, well, if I help them, then they want to pay me. And a lot of the times that never got to happen. I provided value, I helped them, whether it was like with their marketing or certain ideas about their business, and eventually I never got paid. And so it's not about me providing value and thinking, oh, they have to give me money back just naturally, even if I don't ask for it. And that's really not the case. So how do we create value, and how do we actually make ourselves valuable, but yet say, well, I can help you, but my time and my energy and all these things are worth it, so this is what I charge. Instead of saying, oh, like, yeah, I'll help you for free, I'll give you so much value that you want to pay me. That's almost like just hope and pray kind of method. So these were some of the takeaways that I had after working with this company. I understood that it's not about how good you do things sometimes, it's about how you are able to sell yourself to make them understand that you are valuable to their company. If I was let go, they probably didn't see that value, even if I was doing everything that they wanted me to do. With that in mind, I was really thinking, what are some of the things then that I could do after this, right? So I was just trying to analyze and think, well, what are my options right now? Yeah. And so I was looking at my phone and I was thinking, cool, like I could sell domains, which is something that I've tried to do as well. I could sell tequila, which is a brand I've been working with as well, kind of like try to sell tequila for them. NFTs, crypto, teaching Spanish, teaching languages as well, how to learn any language, doing freelance marketing, a personal podcast. I wanted to do a travel related podcast, and thousands of ideas that I wanted to implement when it comes to business. And so I'm thinking, wait, like, no, this is exactly what's happening, and this is exactly what's keeping me away from being focused in one thing. So the point that I came up with this list, I was thinking, well, what do I have in mind right now that I could pursue? And I was thinking, yeah, maybe not that much. And then eventually all this list came up, and I was like, wow, apparently it's not that many things, but here we are, right? And so I want to be able to share with you now what is some of the thinking or the train of thought behind what I'm trying to do right now to cut off these things and say, what is the fastest, most efficient, and smartest thing that I could do in order to get back on my feet. By the way, if you are liking this video so far, I would really love it if you could give it a like, thumbs up, or you could even subscribe if you actually like this content. The only purpose of me is to really be able to provide value, to share some of my experiences with you, and then hopefully you can apply it to your life as well. And it doesn't cost anything to give it a thumbs up, but it really means a lot to me. All right, so like now let's talk about how do we use smart thinking to be able to get something and make money faster. So I was thinking, what has worked for me so far, right? What is something that I did before that worked? What is something that I was able or capable to do before that I managed to do? What is something that maybe businesses need now that is crucial? And what is something that maybe, or type of business that I can find easily and sell this thing to, right? If I was thinking about how can I get and find a middle point between business, which is you have to wear all the hats and you have to do all these things and turn out fires, and you have to manage everything. And on the other side, being an employee. And so me thinking, I was here, too much stuff for me right now, want to be able to jump here, didn't happen. And so I'm like, wait, maybe there is something in between that I could do where I could get paid nicely and still I don't have to manage all these things in business. And so that's when I came back to this answer of sales. Now, sales are essential and are crucial for every single business out there. And so sales is something I've done before. I've worked with companies and I've actually sold their thing for them, programs, services, things like this. So I was like thinking, why wouldn't I do the same thing, right? Why don't I just not become an employee, not go all the way to becoming the business owner, but actually being in the point where with me, they'll be able to make much more money. So technically you are a rainmaker, or you actually bring some revenue. And then with that, you'll just get a simple cut out of it. The thing that I like about it is that you actually get something that's based on performance, right? And so even then, there's a risk. You get paid on your performance. You don't have a base salary. But if you're good at it, and I'm okay at it, I can definitely learn way more. I know that I'm not an absolute killer, like how they say it, but I know that I'm good and I know that I can improve. And so if I am able to focus on this one thing as well, and actually bring more cash to business owners, for sure I'm going to be able to get more exponential actual growth in terms of income, in terms of my lifestyle and things like this. And so this is literally what I've been doing so far. And throughout the entire process, I actually created, and I am creating something to be able to find the right companies, to know how to approach these companies, how to sell yourself, how to have a good interview, how to be able to identify whether you know, they're really into you or not, whether you want to be able to work with them, and also to build the right expectations for these companies. So I've actually built all these things, and I have documents and things that I'm using. And what I would love to do is I would love to give it to you for free and hopefully use it if it sounds like something that can be useful for you. But what I want to do is I want to be able to walk you through some of these things in detail in another video. And so that's why I would ask you, if you want to, then subscribe, and in the upcoming week I will actually share a video that talks just about how I'm actually getting this sales job. Okay, now last part of this video is what I'm actually doing right now with this thing that I'm building, right, that I just talked to you about. And so I actually found some potential good clients, and I say potentially good because they sell a good offer, or they have maybe good established marketing or like sales process. But to be honest, I haven't personally found something that that I would say, well, this is like the company that I want to work for. And so a lot of times they have like good price point but low commission. Sometimes they have good price point, good commission, but then they don't have the sales process dialed in. So that means maybe the lead flow is not so good, or like some things come up that really limits you from being able to sell as much as you want to be able to sell. And so with that in mind, I'm actually working through to find a good company that could be a fit with me, with my vision, or the things that I like, maybe in terms of the interests that I have, and then hopefully being able to start selling for them internally with their sales team, actually make some good money, get paid a percentage of that as a sales rep or a closer, and then from there being able to pour this money, one, into surviving, living, and lifestyle overall, two, into actually learning more, which will allow me to being able to understand things better, see how businesses are run and things like this. But then I would try to consciously deny myself from taking action from every single thing that I come across, right? Because otherwise I will be doing 1,000 things, and then I will never be able to actually nail down on one. And so with that, I'll be able to fulfill, say, my education, my life, things like this. And then on the other side, I would love to be able to pour this into creating more content just like this one, more videos, maybe better quality, better everything, and also being able to provide you with more resources that I come across throughout all my life while I'm working or traveling or living around different countries. So hopefully this is something that you find valuable. I appreciate you watching all the way till the end. And with nothing further to say, I catch you in the next video.